Good morning, students. Let's start the revision of chapter 5, soil. So this will be a very quick revision because already you have studied this chapter. So let's see about the soil. Soil is very important actually because it supports not only plants but also the human life and the plants and animals. And you can see the soil actually essentially is a loose material which forms the thin surface layer, that is a very thin layer of the earth, that is called soil. So usually the soil contains organic and inorganic matter, and if you see here the organic matter, the most important organic matters are the silica, clay and the chalk, and organic matter is humus. So these are the most important matters which are found in the soil. Now next is the characteristic of different soils. So usually all the soils can be categorized into three categories. If you take example of the alluvial soil, so alluvial soil can be sandy, can be clayey and can be loamy in nature. Now what is the meaning of sandy soil? Sandy soil means the soil which contains 60% of sand and 10% of clay is called sandy soil. Clayey soil means the soil which contains 60% or more clay and 10 or less sand, that is called clayey soil. And next is the loamy soil, that is a mixture of the equal amount of sand and clay. Sometimes clay can be more or sand can be more, but usually this equal portion of the sand and clay together, they forms the loam. So alluvial soil can be sandy, alluvial soil can be clay, and alluvial soil can be loamy. So each soil can be categorized into these three categories. So let's see. Now next is the soil erosion. What is the soil erosion? The removal of the topsoil by the weathering, agents of weathering. So what are the agents of weathering? Now in your book it is given 5 points are given, but in board examination you should be very careful. The agents of erosions, they are only 2. What are they? Running water and wind. So you need to write the answer whenever the question will be asked. What are the agents of erosion? So you need to write running water and wind. So there are only 2 agents of erosion. Now then you must be thinking, what is the overgrazing, men, plants, animal and faulty methods of agriculture? So they are actually the factors which affect the erosion. These are not the agents. These are the factors which affect the erosion. So in the book actually they have given all the 5 points together, but you should be very careful. So just do the correction in your book. Now running water, as all of you know, it is the one important agent. So there is a splash erosion, sheet erosion, gully erosion. Now the wind, the erosion caused by the wind, that is the wind erosion. Overgrazing, all of you know. Now the faulty methods of agriculture, shifting agriculture, lack of the crop rotation and the wrong plowing, these are the faulty methods of agriculture which affects the soil erosion. Now next is the soil conservation. Because in many areas the soil erosion is very common, and because of the soil erosion the fertility of the land is decreasing, and this is why there is a need for the soil conservation. So what is the soil conservation? Soil conservation, as you can see in your book, it is given here, an effort made by the man-made effort to conserve soil, that is called soil conservation. So very easy. Now let's see, government actually also have taken so many measures to just prevent the soil erosion. So let's see one by one. The first is the afforestation. Afforestation means government has raised so many forests in the different parts of our country and raising the forest, and to check overgrazing. So by checking the overgrazing also the soil conservation can be done. By constructing dams and barrages, the flow in the rivers, they can be controlled. Improve techniques of agriculture like the contour method of plowing and the terraced farming and crop rotation. It also improves the fertility and the planting of the cover crops. These all are the techniques by which the soil erosion can be checked. Next is the shifting and the zooming. What is the shifting and zooming? Shifting, zooming actually is a type of agriculture, means in the places like northeast India. Now tribal people, they used to burn the forest and they carry agriculture for 2-3 years, and when the land becomes barren, so they shift to another place, again they burn the forest. So this is called shifting agriculture. Now this is not good for the soil, because once the forests are cut down, so they never grow. So this should be banned. Belt of trees and shrubs should be planted in the desert region. Why? To check the velocity. So these are the some measures which have already taken by the government, right? Now next is the major soils. So quickly we're going to start with the major soils, and first is the, as you can see in your on your screen, the alluvial soil. Now the northern part of India will find the whole North India actually known for the alluvial soil. What are the alluvial soil? The soil which is brought by the rivers, they are called the alluvial soil. That's why it is also known as the transported alluvium. So these transported alluvium is of two types: young Khadar soil and the old Bangar soil. Now this is a table is given here, right? It is important, the difference between the young Khadar soil and the old Bangar soil. So now let's see the characteristic of the alluvial soil. So first of all, they are the transported soil. They are coarse in the upper section, and what happen? It becomes finest in the lower section. And then the color usually is light in color. It is rich in potash and humus and deficient in the phosphorus and nitrogen. And the fertility is good actually, and it is very fertile soil, right? And it responds well to the irrigation and manuring. And many crops are grown like wheat, sugar cane, rice, cotton, and the oil seeds. These are grown in this type of soils. The next is the areas. So where are these soils are found? So we'll find here the Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal, Assam. These are the region where the alluvial soil usually is found. And in South India also alluvial soil is found, but only in the coastal strip. The strip means on the mouth of the rivers, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Narmada, and Tapti. So this alluvial soil is found. Why? These rivers, they have whatever the soil which is brought by these rivers, it is deposited there. So here is the alluvial soil. And next is the difference between the alluvial soil of north and south. This is also important as it is given in your book, table 5.2. So you just go through it. Now next is the black soil. So how the black soil is formed? First of all, the black soil is also known as regar. In Telugu word raguda, this word regar word actually is derived, and it is also known as the black cotton soil because the cotton thrives very well in this type of soil. Well, so let's see here. Usually this soil is found in the Deccan Plateau. Why? The Deccan Plateau, if you'll find actually it was actually made by the lava solidified. But what happened, as these lava rocks actually they just go through the process of weathering, and what happened, black soils were formed. So these black soils actually, this question will be asked, how the black soil is formed or they are formed. So black soil usually are formed by the weathering of the lava rock. So you should be very careful. The words are very careful. Weathering of the lava rock or Deccan trap. Deccan trap means they are the lava rock. So weathering of the lava rocks or Deccan trap. So by this actually the black soils are formed, right? Then the characteristics, as you can find it, is retain moisture, become sticky when wet, right? And they becomes very dry when the moisture is absent. And what happens when the soil becomes deep, so it can hold more moisture. So these are the characteristics. From just one point you can see so many characteristics. First, retain moisture, this is one point. Become sticky when wet, this is the second point. Then another is the required. Now dry period means here the dry period they becomes very dry, very hard. So this is not given here, but when the soil becomes dry, it becomes hard. This is also one characteristic. Then another thing, the deeper the soil, the more moisture it can hold. 4 points. So just in one point you can see here 4 points are given here. These are the 4 characteristics. Now color, as you know, black soil, color is black. So usually the color is deep black to chestnut brown, and even the medium black. These are the colors. Then the texture is very fine, and composition, it usually contains almost all types of minerals, right? As you can see here, they contains the lime, alumina, iron, potash, magnesium, carbonates, and calcium, but they are deficient in the phosphate, nitrogen, and humus, that is the organic matter. So these are the characteristics of the black lava soil. Now next is the fertility. If you'll find here, it is very fertile soil. The only thing is the moisture. means the irrigation. When the irrigation is available, this soil can be very, very fertile. Now many crops are grown here like cotton, rice, wheat, jowar, millet, sugarcane, Virginia tobacco, oil seeds like linseed, sunflower, fruits and vegetables are grown in this type of soil. And areas, if you see here, usually this soil is found in the Deccan Plateau, the whole Deccan Plateau, because it is all formed by the lava rock, and that's why these lava rocks they have weathered and they form the black soil. Areas is given here, the states: Maharashtra, Gujarat, Western Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, right, southern district of Tamil Nadu. These are the areas. Third soil is the red soil. How the red soil is formed? You will find here, given here, the red soil are formed due to the weathering of Asian crystalline and metamorphic rock. So this is the answer. The question can be asked, how the red soil was formed or how it is formed, whether in the past tense or present tense. Well, geography we don't just look about the tense, we don't. So here any type of question can be asked, maybe in the past or maybe in the present tense. But here you will see here the red soils are formed. Your answer will be due to the weathering of Asian crystalline and metamorphic rock. So this is the answer. This you need to underline it. So this is the key words, the answer you need to. Next is the color. So the color actually usually is red in color, but why it is the red? Because of the very high iron content. This question can be asked. It is very, very common question. And this color, it varies from red to brown and from chocolate even to yellow. Now this red soil is porous and friable. Now these are all the characteristics. These all things can be kept, can be written in the section of the characteristics. Suppose if it asks to write 3 characteristics of red soil, so you can write all these things: red in color because of the high iron content, and they are porous in nature, friable and porous in nature, they lack lime, magnesia, phosphate, nitrogen and humus. These all things are not found. So they are only rich in what? Potash. And one more thing, iron oxide. So you can just write there iron. Iron is not written here, so you may write here it is rich in potash and iron. Well, next is the suitability for crop. Actually, now this soil, red soil, it can be used to grow the crops, but when the application of proper fertilizer and irrigation can be done. So you can underline here, with application of proper fertilizer and irrigation, the soil can be very fertile. And which crops usually are grown? You can see here wheat, rice, cotton, sugarcane, pulses, millet, tobacco and oil seeds. These are the common crops which are grown in red soil. Now the areas if you will find here, in the North India you will find this red soil is found in Bihar, some parts of Bihar, West Bengal, and largely actually in Jharkhand. Jharkhand is not given here, so this is old data. So usually actually instead of Bihar you should write there Jharkhand. So Jharkhand, West Bengal, Eastern Rajasthan, parts of Assam, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura, Meghalaya. So almost the whole northeast states you will find these are usually you will find the red soil. Then in south if you will find large part of Tamil Nadu, southern Karnataka, Goa, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Maharashtra, southeast of Maharashtra and Chota Nagpur Plateau. These are the whole region you will find the red soil. The last one is the laterite soil. So let's see here about the origin. So how the laterite soil usually is formed? So laterite soil actually is formed under the condition of high temperature and heavy rainfall with alternate wet and dry period. Just underline it. This is the formation of the laterite soil. Next is the characteristic. So you can find here this soil actually it promotes leaching. Now what is the leaching? Leaching, you should know about the leaching. Leaching is not as it is written here in your book, heavy rainfall washes away the topsoil. It is not leaching. So all of you listen here very properly. Leaching means the water, whenever the heavy rainfall occurs, it first of all dissolves the very fine particles of soil. Very fine particles of soil actually is silica. So silica gets dissolved in water and it seeps inside the soil. So the water takes the very fine particle of soil, that is silica, where in the lower level of the soil, and this is how this washing is done. This is how the topsoil actually is washed. It is not actually taken away, but it is taken inside the soil in the lower layer. and that's why the upper layer it becomes infertile, right? So this is the leaching. Now next is the laterite soil actually has a very unique property. Why? What type of property? They becomes very hard like a iron when it is exposed to air. When it dries, when it gets dry, it becomes very hard. That's why in South India, wherever the laterite soil is found, the people they don't need cement. Instead of cement, all the construction work is done by this using the laterite soil. In many places, this laterite soil also is used for making cements. Okay, next is the color. So color is the red color, and white is red color because of the presence of iron oxide. Next, actually the texture is coarse and friable and porous in nature. It is very rich in iron, so only iron is found here, otherwise it is poor in almost every mineral, right? Next is the fertility. So usually if you'll find only the plantation crops are grown, only the plantation crops, like you will see here, like tea, coffee, rubber and coconut usually is grown in laterite soil. So other crops can't be grown here. So this laterite soil is very infertile soil. It's not at all fertile, and you will see where it is found. So mostly if you will find the summits of Western Ghat and Eastern Ghat. What is the meaning of summits? The slopes of the Western Ghats and Eastern Ghat, usually the laterite soil is found. And this Western Ghat and Eastern Ghat you will find it stretches in the states of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, and even in Maharashtra, Kerala, Bihar and Odisha and Jharkhand also. In some areas this type of soil is found. So this chapter is over now. This revision is over. Okay, and all the best.